Question, Mike. Ready? Are you ready? Anything?
Yes.
Ready for me to ask you anything in the world? I can say it. You're going to answer.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So check me out. Hear me out, if you will.
I hear you.
You hear me? All right. All right. So you go to the kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get your bread out. Okay. You put it in the toaster or toaster oven. That's your vibe, whatever. I'm personally a toaster oven person. My wife has refused to allow us to buy one ever since I lived in a house of 5 other males in college, and we bought a toaster at a garage sale for $2 or something. I've wanted a toaster oven ever since, and a quesadilla maker. Those are kind of fire, but a waste of space. Anyway, you make your toast, right? Or bread into toast, right? What are you putting on it?
Just butter.
But that's, I was really hoping that we could go somewhere else with that, because that option is taken. What's your second option?
Sometimes I'll do butter with the cinnamon sugar on it.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I am down with that. All right, J Mike, I'm gonna tweet it out. Take it away.
Sorry, I'm boring. I apologize.
No, the cinnamon sugar is fire, actually. I used to be a very common breakfast for me, and I know I was just hating on my wife for not allowing us to get a toaster oven, but she actually introduced that to me, the cinnamon sugar mix, and we would actually have like a shaker dedicated to the cinnamon sugar mix. So no, that is not boring. That possibly, I kind of made this draft for us already. And I think you were the 104 or 105 of sorts, and for this tweet that I'm composing, and I think you may have gotten the 101. It's possible. So good job. Congrats.
Thank you.
Welcome to the open bar, everyone. We are live. It is 9:30 Eastern ish. I am finishing composing this tweet, and I'm just going to hand it off to my best FF friend on the planet. No, FF friend? Nah, drop the FF. I'm done with that. All right, best friend on the planet. How are you doing today? Shu Vol Du Vol City. Let's go.
F's in the chat for the FF. Bro, I'm tickled. As the saying goes, I am tickled pink to be here. The first Tuesday night after week 1 in the NFL. So many of my teams, my fantasy teams, let me tell you, so many of them are 0-1. It's a beautiful thing. You love to see it. So many of them really wanted more than what they got from a lot of the certified mic checkers for this season. However, nothing takes the cake like being eliminated in your own Fantasy Cares Eliminator. Yes, the open bar, the bartenders themselves. Your boy to my left on the screen, Gabe, and your boy J Mike eliminated with by far the lowest score in the open bar eliminator. Shout out to John Bosch and everybody who's joining us for that. Apparently, we are just way too cool for you guys, so we just decided to say, week 1, we're out of here. Peace. It's easily one of my sadder moments of the weekend, but man, so much good came from the weekend. I could ramble on and on, but moral of the story is Gardner's not going down without a fight. Cam Akers is terrible, and it's Corey Davis season. Those are the 3 most important things from the entire weekend that have people up in arms and upset about life. And I'm just happy to be here to share with you guys. And I'm excited about the group that we have. I have a couple of old friends, family, if you will. Some folks who even like to have a sleepover or two at the bar while we double duty. And then we've got a rookie to the bar, a good friend who is long overdue for the show. So I'm excited to be with you, Gabe, and this is going to be fun.
Indeed. I will say one other thing about our team now that I take a look at it. First of all, it's awful. This is horribly drafted team. This is horrendous. I don't know. Are we sure we did this? Man, those auctions are so hard to keep up on. We're so bad at it. We are the worst co-owners. Like maybe I know y'all love, like some of you love us, whatever, as co-hosts, co-owners. We're worst on the planet, 100% worst on the planet. But J Mike, there is a bright spot in this loss, because do you know who the highest scorer on our team was for week one, our only week, our first and last week?
I do not, but I would love for you to enlighten me here.
None other than the potential wide receiver one in Chicago if Allen Robinson happens to get traded, which he seems to be wanting immediately, is the guy, Anthony Miller.
Oh, y'all know what's up.
We're whispering now, but we won't by
coming.
season's end. 18.6 points. Take that, haters. Open bar charity haters, eliminator haters.
It took Mitch Trubisky's performance of a lifetime in the fourth quarter to bring my man Anthony Miller to life and to snatch victory from the jaws of absurdity. And I'm with it. So Anthony Miller, shout out to you. I'm so sad that you go down on our eliminator team, but hey, it was sweet for the week we had, man. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. It's a Fall Out Boy quote. You're welcome.
We play music on this pod now, right? And we're not going to get flagged for anything. Yeah. All right. So the guests, as aforementioned, they're here. They're here, man. Couple vets. I'll start with them. Get to the rookie in a moment. Is it like, I know, Kev, you're pretty good at potting, for long periods of time. Sure. But did you know that Zach, Tacit Assassin 13, likely has the world record for pods listened to and pods watched, at least in the last 5 years? Find me someone else.
Don't doubt it. I can't think of a single person that listens to more pods than Zach does, and comments, while more pods are being broadcast. Yeah,
he doesn't just lurk,
No, he's in there.
It's not Lurker 13. It is Tacit Assassin 13. Zach, what's going on, dude? How you doing?
Oh, I am pretty well tonight. Yeah, I'm not very often without words, whether it's in writing or whether I'm talking on a pod. So that's it. Just hang out in the chat, fire off a few. I try to make you guys laugh whenever I can, and then occasionally yell about Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, the timing on that too. Poor guy. The hips don't lie. All right. And Kev, I don't want to discredit you and your podcasting abilities. Unsure of your listening and watching abilities, but I know damn well that you can pod longer than us, which is very, very difficult to do. How you doing tonight, my man?
I'm doing well, thank you. And while I do, I may hold the record along with my co-host Sal and Steve for the longest pod of one sitting. I can't even come close to matching you guys with the consistent effort that you put out with 4 hours, 90 minutes, 2 hours. I mean, just constantly, week after week, putting out hours upon hours of mostly dribble. I mean, it's just, nothing good. I mean,
are you telling us to shut up and dribble?
Did I say dribble? I meant dribble.
J Mike, we might be the Mike Evans of pod. What do we have to do?
What does the open bar have to do to get respect around here? Unbelievable.
90 minutes, 120 minutes, 240 minutes. I mean, really, it was 246 minutes, but who's counting?
Who's counting? We don't give respect here. However,
yeah,
you need a catchy name like a podathon. If you had something like that, then you guys would be on
the open bar podathon. Okay. We'll be looking into acquiring that next year, Kev.
There you go. Just before we go any further, I just want you both to know that the reason I think I'm on this podcast is because I'm looking at my ownership or my rostership percentage. Anthony Miller, 4th on my list at a whopping 25% of rosters. So there you go. I am a fellow Anthony Miller friend. He is all over my rosters, and he was in many, many, many lineups for me this weekend, which helped.
Wow.
The few, yeah.
Had the cojones to start him. Yeah, right.
I did. Also, you could just so you guys know, you can go the other way, like the Funhouse did, and be the leading scorer after 1 week in your eliminator. You could have gone that route. You didn't.
Interesting approach. Interesting approach. Yeah. I keep looking back at this team, J Mike. What in the heck, dude? Gee whiz. Mark Ingram. That's weird. I mean, it's not a terrible team. That's just I think we just had a bad week. We'll get it. We'll get it next week.
The ultimate bad beat of bad beats to start the season with a team that's actually not bad at all. So
yeah.
There's always next year, I guess.
Certainly not next week.
Certainly not.
Maybe Bosch went in and changed your team without like from the draft to now. Maybe he just just to mess with you guys, he put different players on your roster. That's what I have to assume.
That's true. I definitely don't really trust him.
I'll tell you, he did mess with the scoring format for the eliminators this year. The two previous years, it was pretty similar.
Yeah.
This year, defenses are not as robust in the scoring as they had been. So you
can't trust a guy like that.
That's it. I think the Dynasty Dummies are going to be in some trouble in our eliminate. Thank goodness for Brian Heiser. He's one of our faithful listeners. He's been there since the beginning, and he took the proverbial bullet and put up a like 72 points for us, so we could squeak by this week.
And
happy for you.
Gabe, I was going to say before Kevin did his normal Kevin thing and became a disease, ruined my professional transition. I was going to say, we're talking about, our podcast, hey, we, doing our Mike Evans thing. We don't get enough respect. Our last guest, though, hails from a podcast that has garnered great respect and renown amongst the FF community. One of the absolute sickest groupings of people, and likely the sickest logo in the FF pod game, if there is such a thing out on the Twitter streets. I'm sorry, Gabe. I didn't mean to ruin your introduction of our last guest, but you take it from here, sir.
I mean, what else is there to say besides welcome to the freaking show, Michael.
Thank you, and I think
Michelangelo, if you're nasty,
you are confusing. You must be confusing us with a different podcast.
Oh no!
Except the logo. The logo is pretty cool. Can't really see it too well. Fun fact about our logo: if anyone's in Eastern Pennsylvania, there is a brewery called Lost Tavern. It's in Hellertown, Pennsylvania. One of the bartenders there is a professional artist, and she made both of our logos for us. So this isn't something that one of us whipped up. It was professionally done. Was also not cheap. Every piece of merchandise you buy from us is also made right in the Lehigh Valley, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So we support local companies. But J Mike, thank you. That's great. Love all the guys on the podcast. Nate Christian, Shevin Nooney, Porkman. Everybody knows Porkman. He's great. We even have an intern. We just kind of give him all our behind the scenes paperwork. So anybody that has a podcast, if you don't have an intern, just somebody that comments a lot, grab them, give them something to do. They love it. They feel like they're part of the team. It's highly recommended. Thank you for the kind words. I don't feel like we get the respect that we deserve, but we're just going to keep pumping out live streams every week, every Tuesday night. Podcast hits your podcast player of choice every Saturday morning. So everybody, there's your excuse to work out on Saturday morning and listen to the Dynasty Rewind.
And there's Charles Porkley in the chat himself, the round mound of rewind. Porkman.
Porkman's trying to sell some merch for us. He can't even spell hoodies. He's trying to make people buy hoodies.
What up, Porkman? Good to see
look,
you,
I
man.
love this picture. So we had some hoodies made up last year, but I didn't really like them, so we never sold them. So I sent the guy a hoodie, and then he makes this picture where he looks all mad in this free hoodie that I gave him. I'm like, you get a free hoodie, you're gonna look mad? Like what? You're killing me, man. But Porkman's great. So Porkman's one of those guys I met through Twitter, and he was a listener of ours, and then met him in person in South Philly. We got some John's roast pork. It was awesome. See somebody commenting here. Porkman's is the goat of nicest guys ever. 100% true. Better in person than he is online. So fantastic guy. All the guys are great. Hats off to them because they always say I'm a great host, which I take with a grain of salt, but I wouldn't be anything that I am without the other three guys on the podcast. Just full disclosure.
And same with us each and every week that we do this show, right? We don't have a 6-pack necessarily tonight, but we can vibe on 5. So if we're circling back to your comment about being underappreciated, if we are the Mike Evans of the podcast game, where do you feel that y'all stand?
So I feel like we're the Quintez Cephas of the podcast game.
J Mike likes that one.
We kind of,
I like that.
We kind of do everything well on tape, but we just need our chance to shine. And once we get it, it could be wheels up. So Quintez Cephas is a guy. I remember we were doing a mock draft, and we do a lot of rookie breakdowns. We're like, who the hell is Quintez Cephas? Because his ADP skyrocketed out of nowhere, kind of like Antonio Gibson's did for a while. I'm sure you guys all remember that in rookie drafts.
Who's that?
And then, so we watched some film on. I got to be honest with you, I was quite impressed. So I guess I would compare us to Quintez Cephas with a little bit of LaMichael Pirine sprinkled in too. That's my boy right there. I love LaMichael Pirine.
Hopefully has an opportunity sooner rather than later.
If he's healthy, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's keep that draft going. We got podcasters here. Dummies, what if you are allowed to represent for your squad, what would your player comp be for the dummies?
So I think it's the split backfield. I think that you've got the Sony Michel and the James White. You've got Kyle carrying the rock most of the time, vastly underrated, underdrafted. Maybe not getting the goal line work with Cam in there, but and then you got me, the dump off guy, doing the song and dance and hauling it on third down.
Okay. That's fair. And some would, hauling in on third down, some would say that you're even a more essential part of the offense, with no disrespect at all.
That was not out of my mouth.
Look, you said it, man. You said you're James White, who's scored more fantasy points over the last 3 or 4 years, huh?
Well, that's only because Sony Michel's only on the field about 75% of the time. Kyle, who hasn't recorded for a couple of months. Come on, buddy, come back.
That's why I'm making comments. I'm trying to get him to come out from underground. All right, I like it.
The funniest thing about Kyle, though, is that he still listens to everything that's said. So he's gonna hear this. It'll likely be not tomorrow, but probably I'll hear something lunchtime Thursday. He'll shoot a message over. Hey, J Mike, what's going on, pal? Well, not much, man. You just gonna let Zach run me over on you're not gonna take up for me at all? Okay, I'll see how it is. My best.
That's a good Kyle impression.
That was actually pretty good. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there you go. That's good. That's good, Carl. Kev, what about you? What about the Fun House at the DFP and at work?
The Fun House is bear with me for this one, but we're going to be the Sammy Watkins of the group, right? Week 1 of the fantasy season, that SFB kickoff. It's the inaugural start of the season, right? We're there. We show up. We have a huge week. And then you don't hear from us until Christmas. And then we come out with our Festivus show right around Christmas, and we do our Festivus show, and everyone loves it. And then you don't hear from us again until the start of next season. Yeah. So Sammy Watkins is the best comp I can come up with.
Best biannual pod in the game.
That's right. Bringing the heat twice a year.
Yeah. Everyone's like, what is SFB Podathon?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out to my boys at the Wall Street. I don't really know the comp for them, but
Sure.
there's those are just they're just good at what they do with Bosch and Riley. So I have to at least remind people that we exist, and we'll be coming back with episodes again soon.
Fair. All right, that was good. I feel like we were a little bit over the top, J Mike, or I was with the whole Mike Evans take. He's pretty high in ADP in comparison to all these other, slugs that y'all chose. So
But that's perfect though, because it's your favorite podcast. So all of the sharps are on Mike Evans, even though everybody's fading him. And
Uh-oh.
You lost Zach.
And that's
See,
the names I'm seeing. That's those guys are on my.
I'll bet this was the best point ever made.
It was probably great. You kind of glitched out, Zach. I don't know what happened there, but oh man,
oh.
probably gonna make me shed a tear and
Yep.
thank him and stuff.
Not like we can just go and listen back either.
I know. It's just gone. It's lost some time.
Yep.
Utter sadness.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. I believe it. I'll just say I agree.
I had a tear. Did.
Yeah.
You couldn't see it because it was glitchy, but I had one.
I've got a series of questions that I thought of off the cuff in typical open bar style. And I would love to be able to ask you all these questions in reference to just week one stuff. Are we okay with talking through at least you all answering one-word answers to week one questions?
I hate one-word answers. Let's do it.
One-word answers are the worst.
Yep.
Okay, great. Glad everyone's ready and loves it. Obviously, this is also for you all in the chat. Please make sure that you submit your one-word answers in the chat. And obviously, if you're listening to this in podcast form and you're in the gym, as you're repping it out, as you're at home helping with remote learners, as you're getting your bagel from your favorite bagel place, just shout your answer randomly at the cashier, randomly as you rep out those last few reps on the bench press. Whatever you've got to do, I want you shouting this out as well. So first question, Zach, we'll start with you. I had no idea blank was going to be this good this fast. One word answer. I have 2 words, but okay, we'll take it. Bauer.
Joshua Kelly.
Your answer has to be a Josh, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, Joshua Kelly was going to be mine. That
or at least a J.
Sorry.
Man. That's brutal.
Is Cribs still playing? No.
Can I say Cam Newton, even though he's not a Josh? Cam Newton with the two rushings, and he was good. It was exactly what I wanted out of Cam Newton.
Gabe.
Hopkins.
Quintez. I mean, come on.
No, that was Galladay absence. Yeah.
Bro, he came out and got doubled. He led the team in targets off the rip. Come on.
Better than I expected.
So Galladay's dead?
No, I didn't say that. I said I didn't expect him. Did you? Would you have guessed in your wildest of dreams that Quintez Cephas would have 10 targets in week one, even with no Galladay?
Kind of.
No.
I mean, I don't know. It's with why not? If Galladay's out, why? Like, all right, what is it? Amendola and Marvin Jones only get like 5 targets because he just gets 40-yard touchdowns. So, I mean, I guess it's fair if Amendola and was Amendola even playing? I didn't even. Yeah. He seemed like he was absent as well. And Hawkinson too, I suppose, and Swift, whatnot. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you, J Mike. I'm sorry.
Think about it like this, J. Mike. If you had, if someone had told you that that kind of game was coming from a Detroit player that wasn't Galladay, wouldn't he have been on your short list of people that could pop off? Though,
No,
I think he would have.
No.
Because to Gabe's point, I think all those guys, we know what they are. You know, they're going to have I mean, Swift's the only unknown, really.
All right, so let me walk through, I guess, my expectations. My thought was there's a good chance that Quintez can come in and eventually work his way to being the legitimate third wide receiver in the offense. That was what my thought was in terms of going into the season moving forward. I thought the hierarchy was definitely going to be very clear. It would be Marvin Jones, who would have one of those ridiculous 8 catches for 200 and some odd yards against a terrible Chicago secondary for 2 touchdowns, something stupid. Amendola would end up with like 9 catches for 71 yards, something small. And then TJ Hawkinson would fool around and have a really good game too. I did not expect, my expectation was that Quintez would be like 4th amongst all of them. And that's if, like, for whatever reason, DeAndre Swift didn't pop off from out of the backfield, like just craziness. So for him to lead the team in targets, to me, was huge. And I did not expect that, even with no Galladay, like just straight up. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's
Second wide receiver in terms of snaps. And I mean, but really it's like Amendola and then Marvin Hall was the only other wide receiver to get snaps. So, I mean, I don't know. It was definitely within the possibility of him to get at least 50% of the snaps in the game. And sure, he did get 79, which is great and surprising. Sure. But real quick, we were just playing one-word answers, right? How did we end up circling back and now we're spending all this time on J. Mike's answer? Come on.
I think it was you originally questioning me when I said
I would
Quintez.
never. I would
Unbelievable.
never.
This guy. Next question. The rookie that I wish I would have seen more from in week 1 is Gabe.
Dobbins. Honestly.
Gordon Dobbins. Kev.
I was, Jesus Christ, that was mine. I mean, come on, man. You're killing me. I would have said Dobbins too, for sure. 2 touchdowns is awesome. But
You can take Dobbins if you like. If you'd like to take
circle back to me. Come back to me. I'll have another one.
All right, fair enough. Bauer.
I'm going to go with Cam Akers. That was more than one word. I'm sorry.
You're fine. That's the name of the game. It's never one word.
Okay.
Zach.
So I'm going to approach this a little bit different and say Justin Jefferson, just because I didn't see enough. 3 targets is not enough. I got to have more. I got to have more Justin Jefferson. It's going to happen.
Yes.
That surprised me
Very.
quite a bit. I thought it'd be kind of out the gate, would have more targets right away. Played a lot of snaps, but
Yeah, I think he was second in snaps, but
yeah, it's just the combination of Cook and Madison on the field so much, I think, that took away from him a little bit and running the 2 tight end sets. Because I mean, the Vikings are in, I think, the league lead last year for the 2 tight end sets. So I mean, that's just not necessarily great for Jefferson when you have Madison also being as good as he is. So
yeah.
Okay, Kevin, professional podcaster. Can we circle back to you now? Do you have a rookie that you like? Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd go back and say maybe Rager. I mean, Wentz throws the ball 42 times. He only gets 4 targets. So,
And he got away with that one too. That was just early on. That was the only catch, I guess, that he had. That was early on. It was like, whoa, okay, it's Rager season.
yeah.
SZN, and that was a bummer.
And Rager's definitely my answer. It's easily Rager. I'm not thinking of anyone else. No, that was my answer before we had to circle back to Kevin.
The reason I would have said Dobbins is just I
quarterback.
thought, look, obviously you love the 2 touchdowns if you played him, but it just, he's got to get more run.
And Chev, you are a nut. Rodrigo Blinken.
He loves that guy. He loves him. It's great.
Chev, you're a nut, man.
I'm
That's
here
good.
for it.
And I think that what I guess was most surprising about the rookies was, and maybe I shouldn't have been surprised about it at all, just how many of them were relevant out the gate. Like not even just like relevant, but were like really good out the gate. So Marlon Mack goes down. Your boy Jonathan Taylor goes for 6 catches out, like off the rip. So y'all can put to bed after again week one overreactions. Y'all can put to bed any and all concerns about how he'll be used. We know that he can be in the
What a
passing game.
horrible
obviously.
narrative.
Yeah, it's no bueno. I mean, we saw Quintez go for 10 targets. We see Akers being involved. We see CEH pop off on opening night. It was a lot of fun to see these rookies come out and be really good, really fast. That's super exciting. And even a guy, and I see you, Pork man, Van Jefferson. I know that's his man's. He always he's always slandering my man Justin Jefferson, but I'm gonna show you love either way, Pork man. I'm not gonna slander you like you slander my man's on your pod, but that's okay. Van Jefferson getting on the field doing good things, and a guy like Jerry Jeudy last night on the Monday night game who was dynamic and looks really good. If only he would consistently have caught the ball. That was a little bit disappointing, but
Man. Sorry, go ahead, J Mike.
No,
I thought you were
you go
finishing
for it.
your thought.
No, pick it up.
I was just to continue on Van Jefferson. I feel like if he wasn't in an offense with 2 already real okay, so take this with a grain of salt. Cooper Kupp stands really great wide receivers on a team with 2 really great wide receivers. He could probably have a McLaurin type of rookie season, I think. And I think he's just so ready like McLaurin was, and underrated, getting him in like 3rd round of rookie drafts, whatever the case may be, and just not necessarily landed in a bad spot because the offense is absolutely great, but might not see that opportunity until next year. But yeah, I like me some Van Jefferson. I wish I hit on that more.
One of the things, and I'm curious how you all thought about this, but one of the things that had me nervous specifically about this class is that we had a lot of these guys that had come in with some sort of injury or some sort of rehab that they were into, whether it would be Brian Edwards, whether it be Van Jefferson, who had the issue coming into camp, whether it be DeAndre Swift, who was ailing and whatnot. And all these guys still got out there and we're doing good work. So this is going to be a fun class. And I don't want to belabor the point. But I've only got one question left. Gabe, can I ask my last question in 1-word answers?
Can you question it in 1 word? I think that's only fair.
No. All right, sweet. So last question. Last question. And it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be hard. There's no way I'm buying what you did in week 1. Name one player. There's no way I'm buying what you did in week 1. Your answer cannot be Sammy Watkins.
I'm out.
Me too.
There will be no Sammy slander on this podcast in this moment. There's no way I'm buying what you did in week 1. Zach, I know you have Benny Snell loaded and ready. That is also unacceptable. That is also unacceptable. You cannot come after any of my mans after week 1. I'm actually going to start this off because I've thought very little and long about this. There's no way that I'm buying what my man DJ Chark did in week 1. He only had 35 yards on 3 catches, 1 touchdown, which is great because the touchdown kind of saved the day for him. But I'm still very confident that he's going to be peppered with targets. And I don't think that they and I guess what I'm what I'm confused about is the Jags look like they wanted to be able to run the ball, and if they're in neutral game scripts, they still want to be able to pound it, even though they don't have Fournette. So it's like, wait, what is this? What up, James Robinson? So in a year where I'm thinking Gardner's going to be slinging the ball 40 some odd times a game, he's going to go 19 of 20 and be efficient and be the next coming of Steve Young. So I guess we'll see what happens. But Chark, I still think Chark is in for a huge year. But this time we'll start with you, Kev, so that this way we don't have to have anybody stealing your answers or anything of that nature. You having any excuses? Who are you not buying their week 1 performance?
Cam Akers. I think he's better than that. A lot better. I think it's a tough start. Maybe call it a rookie, but he's the guy that I think he's. I don't buy that he's going to be, that bad. I don't know that I don't. And tied into that, I guess Malcolm Brown. I don't think he's going to be the guy the whole season. So I'm not buying what they showed in week 1.
No, Kevin, I need that Malcolm Brown. I started him in 5 places this week. I need that Malcolm Brown.
I don't know if he's going anywhere, man.
You'll get a couple more weeks, but I mean, talent's going to win out, and Cam Akers is talented, dude. He's gonna show up at some point.
Brown outplayed him. He might be around.
I like the Corey Davis in the chat there. That's a good one. But
Come on.
I'd love to buy it this time.
Just when I thought I was out, they
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll be back in.
Just when I thought I was out.
Bauer.
Zach Ertz. As you could see from the flag behind me, I am an Eagles fan. I'm trying to be a level-headed Eagles fan, but 3 catches for 18 yards and a touchdown kind of sort of saved the day. What got me was it was later in the game, fourth quarter. Wentz, it was 3rd and 7, 4th and 7, trying to make something happen. And Wentz put the ball where it was either an incompletion or, Ertz had to reach out for a little bit. He just kind of did one of these and short-armed it. And that was the only time in my life I could think that I was mad at Zach Ertz because everything that he's done for the Eagles, and I really wanted to drive down to Washington and slap shit out of him. I'm not going to lie. It's just, I get you don't like the whole contract dispute. That's not the way to go about it. When I want more money at work, I work harder. I don't, just show up and half-ass my job. Also, I can't half-ass my job because a wheel could fall off, and that wouldn't be good. So,
if you do try to slap Ertz, can you video that? Can you record that so that we can all see it?
Oh, it's not going to go well for me. So I'm going to drink a lot of beer first, so at least I don't feel it until the next day. But
Why are people coming for Eagles tight ends' faces? Man.
I got to slap them somewhere. I'm not going to slap them on the butt. But I just don't I'm hoping not just from my team's perspective, but because I have him in a lot of places in fantasy, that this is an anomaly and he goes back to the Zach Ertz of the rest of his career or prior part of his career.
Let me ask you this, and this is probably in reference this is for Two Drink, who's out there somewhere listening to this Ertz love, and he's very excited about it. Yeah. Let me ask you this, Bauer. Can I bring you my 2021 first in a tight end premium league and you trade me Zach Ertz?
I'll probably ask for a little bit more because that's how good negotiations work, right? You always try to get a little bit more.
Okay,
but
I bring you my 2021 first, and I bring you James Robinson, running back, the bell cow of the ball in Jacksonville. Shoo.
I don't know. Do you have Dawson Knox on your roster that you could throw in with that 2021 first?
No, man. I've got the Finero garden, tight end garden, if you will. I've got all the guys who I'm still waiting for them to flourish. I've got the really gross Njoku, who just went, I think was about to go back to IR.
I feel bad for that guy, by the way. He can't catch a break.
Yeah, I've got Chris Herndon. I've got a bunch of guys that haven't brought it yet. So no, I don't really have anyone that you're that intrigued by, unless you want some IR Njoku.
I am kind of intrigued by Chris Herndon, though.
Okay.
Long term, I like his skill set a lot, but it's just the whole Adam Gase curse again. I don't know if anyone in here is a Jets fan or Anyone? No. Okay,
No.
good.
No,
Okay,
not
great.
offending any of it.
Okay. But he just seems to ruin things wherever he goes. So hoping he gets out of there. But I don't know. You know, I've heard a lot of this. I mean, I guess that depends on your team makeup. It's week 1. You're either 1-0 or 0-1. I don't know if you're in a league that allows ties or not, but now's not the time to panic buy or panic sell. So right now, that deal wouldn't be made. That would obviously be, am I in the playoffs or out of the playoffs? So that's later on down the road. Obviously, it depends on your team's makeup too. Are you making
Okay,
that playoff
you
push?
forced my hand. You forced my hand, Bauer. I'm going to
Okay.
send you my 2021 first. I'm going to send you my 2021 second, and I'm sending you Dawson Knox, who you've been begging me for. I was just kidding. He's on my taxi squad.
Okay.
I was acting like I didn't have him. He's right here. My first, my second, and Dawson Knox. Just send me Zach Ertz. Stop screwing around. Can we make this trade?
Well, I mean, for that, yeah, I'll definitely take that all day.
All right. All right. I was just curious.
Done deal.
You had me at
Cheers, my
2021 first.
Dang.
Yeah. We had a rather robust discussion about Zach Ertz, so I don't necessarily want to open that back up. I was just curious with what we saw in week 1 and what you were talking about with the contract as well. If any of that scared you enough to be like, I don't know if what I'm seeing is going to work. So
I still think if he goes somewhere else, he's going to be obviously very fantasy startable because if he goes as free agent, you know, someone's going to pay him a lot of money. So he's going to be a focal point. And if somebody trades for him, obviously they're taking on the rest of that contract. So he's going to be startable no matter where he is. Also, a lot of rumors, send him to Chicago for Allen Robinson. Sign me up all day, man.
yeah,
Sign me
because
up.
that's all that the Bears need is another tight end to really get this offense over the hump.
Yeah,
12.
100%.
That'd be great.
What personnel is that? Where it's just like all tight ends and nothing else in the field?
I think that's 18 personnel.
Can
I'm
you
not sure.
send me out 05 personnel? I want
The Wildcat, but tight ends.
yes. Jesper Horsted, Jimmy Graham, and Zach Ertz. Let's go.
Maybe they can
so
turn into
weird.
a basketball team. That'd be good.
There you go.
Here you go, Kev. All right, Kev, it's on you.
Well, you
Oh, no, you said
I'll
Cam. You
take
went
it.
first. My apologies. No, yeah, you said Cam.
Do you
My
have a
bad.
second one?
He traded back in.
Circling back.
Yes. Zach, who you got?
For me, it's Preston Williams, and I know he only caught 2 balls on 7 targets, but he was up against Gilmore a lot in that game and drew 2 pass interferences, and I think he's going to be the focal point in that putrid Miami offense, and is going to be better than what you saw this week. So that's my guy that I don't believe what happened this week.
Myles Gaskin might be our only hope and savior in that team, I guess. J Mike, is it my turn yet?
It sure is.
All right. Is it time to turn this pod into a Jerick McKinnon appreciation pod or what? Is it time? Can we do it?
Only if you mention that
Raheem
Tevin Coleman's
Mostert,
got
man.
the sickle cell trait and they were worried about the air quality in California. But
I
yes,
know.
go for it.
I know that, but that hurts Raheem Mostert. That's why Raheem Mostert played most of the snaps. Otherwise, it's going to be evened out, and Jerick McKinnon's going to be the most efficient with his touches. Also, sub shout out to Kenyon Drake not really being a top 12 guy or whatever people think he is, because Chase Edmonds is the truth.
Let me ask you this, Gabe. Does the great and powerful Jerick McKinnon now take the place of Kenneth Dixon in your life? Is that how this works?
I mean, they kind of coexisted, but since Kenneth Dixon decided to leave my life early and often, I've just been waiting for McKinnon to finally take the reins and ride away into the sunset. And we're here, and you can't stop us.
Okay. All right. I won't try to. I won't try to.
I know. You can't.
There's definitely one more thing I definitely want to hit on before we end up leaving or going on to other things and talking about whatever. So I want to make sure that we get this out. We've got 2 Patriots fans tonight here on the pod, and I need the inside look at what it's like. Well, not what it's like, because as I told you guys behind the scenes, like I'm rooting heavily for Cam Newton. So if Cam Newton is in the Patriots jersey, yes, breaking news, I am rooting for the Patriots. So there's that. I need to know what it's like for you all to be rooting for Cam Newton while also watching Tom Brady not look fantastic in Tampa Bay. So please just walk me through that cognitive dissonance that you may be feeling as your GOAT, your flag bearer, your everything in the Boston, Foxborough, Greater Mass area is now kind of a piling flaming poop right now. I need to know where you guys stand with that.
Is this your king?
Is this your king?
R.I.P.
Man, F's in the chat. Come on.
You want to start off, Zach? I'll give you the floor.
I'm way too clinical about things like that. So I don't get caught up in the fanaticism of fanhood. So like Brady leaves, Cam comes in. It's great to see Cam play well. I don't wish Brady ill, but watching that game was painful. Like watching his offensive line just kind of let a pass rush up the middle, watching him have to rely on Ronald Jones. I mean, it's not something that you'd wish on your worst enemy. But it is fun watching Cam, and it's fun watching Cam have fun playing football, which is something I think that sometimes gets lost in Foxborough. Like winning is fun, but sometimes the game isn't fun. And right now, watching Cam, like Cam's dancing. You know, he'll make a play and get up and dance, and you're like, all right, he's having fun, and that is fun.
It's a different energy there, which
So
is crazy,
easy.
and I think people enjoy it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all aboard the Cam train for sure. I mean, sign him up, get him in here for a few more years. I'm all for it. Let's get him locked down for another couple of years and try to actually build something around him, give him something to work with from an offensive standpoint. That's not, a 34-year-old Julian Edelman or a N'Keal Harry who can't get out of his own way, or any of the other also rans that are in that offense right now. I just get him something to throw to, and let's see where this goes. I mean, it's different. You see a lot of passes. You see a lot of passes that aren't like Brady's. That's for sure. There's some wobbles. There's a lot going on with his passes that aren't Tom Brady's typical zip it in and perfect accuracy kind of thing. But it's a good thing the way Zach's saying the fun that they're having. It's fun to watch, and it's a different offense. It'll be a different offense, and I like that. I think we needed it. I'm kind of like you, Zach. I don't no ill will towards Brady for leaving. I think it's time for a change for everybody, and I kind of hope he does succeed in Tampa. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see him in a Super Bowl, and that'd be beyond fun to see those two teams play.
Zach, before you go, I'm curious of your all's thoughts, Kevin, and then I want you to Zach answer, and you can go from this wherever you like. After one game, after seeing Cam Newton on your team for one game, would you like, and again, not promising you anything after this, after seeing him for one game against the Dolphins, do you want Cam to be your quarterback to be extended for years to come? Or would you just much rather reshuffle the deck and see what happens moving forward after this season? Kevin, you first, and then go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I absolutely sign him up, lock him down. Let's get him a few more years. I mean, I don't want to give him like a 6-year, whatever Watson just got, or 4-year, I don't know, however many millions they got. I don't want to give that kind of money. I don't want to give him, 6 years or anything like that. But yeah, let's get 3-4 year deal out of him. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree. You sign him and you keep doing kind of the Patriots MO where they're taking a second or third or fourth round quarterback and trying to groom somebody behind him and hope you hit on the next quarterback after Cam. But right now, I mean, you can't ask for a better, I mean, instead of a bridge quarterback, you have the next, franchise quarterback, and you can't ask for anything more than that.
I mean, the last time that the Patriots had a chance at the number one overall pick for any draft class was Drew Bledsoe in 93. So we have a number one overall pick on our team. I say let's enjoy it for a little while.
Yeah.
All right. I was just curious because I'm enjoying watching Cam do Cam things. And if he's going to run the ball 15 times or whatever else, man, I'm here for it. I'm good. I'm glad to see him healthy. I'm glad to see him pissing defenders off, knowing for certain that back in my playing days, if it was me that he was styling on, I'd have tried to suplex him. Just, Brock Lesnar style, just straight German suplex the life out of him. But he's man, he's still huge. He's still pretty fast, and he's still an awesome player to watch. And it's just really weird. I don't know if you all saw the clip where he was fist pumping, or excuse me, dabbing up Josh McDaniels on the sidelines after they were discussing something. I was just like, this whole vibe is really weird. Like, I don't know what's going on in Foxborough. This is weird, but I guess I'm with it. So here we are. Gabe, that's all that I had prepared. So maybe
right.
Where else do you want to go? What else do you want to talk about? I feel like so much happened in week one. Like, what else do you guys want to hit on this week?
Shoot, let's wrap it up, man. Let's get out of here. Hey, I got one. All right, I got one. You got me thinking. Actually, Zach, I think you were about to speak. I can save mine. What were you going to say? I want to hear from Zach.
0.4 yards per carry. The running back for the Giants.
Ooh. What would you call Saquon Balaj?
Yeah, Saquon Balaj.
I could not believe you did that.
What happened?
Ouch. That was rough.
Is that it's just a good defensive line, right? And,
I mean, it is
bad offensive
line. Yeah.
Really bad offensive line. I know that, but
terrible offensive line.
That Steelers defensive line though is nasty.
But you gotta, I mean, like that's a generational run. I mean, like that's the best running back that I have scouted in the very short period of time that I have been watching film. Just do nothing. That's scary. And then Benny Snell goes for 100 as a little juxtaposition there. Yeah, great.
Benny Snell RB2. Let's go. Get Saquon Balaj up out of here. Just saying.
I still I have the still shot of Benny Snell with a little GIF emblem. So it looks like it should be moving, but it's not.
Aw. Bathtub, huh?
But from that same game, what about Darius Slayton?
Yeah.
I mean, big play Slay. Some people were picking on me for starting him this week, but I got faith in him. And I had this one guy who was just completely bashing me all week that he was going to crush my team. At one point, I was projected my win percentage on sleepers as low as 3%, and I beat him by 30 points. So big ups to Darius Slayton, getting him in my starting lineup. So if you haven't gotten him already, I think that window is probably closing to getting him where you'll want to pay the price to have him because it's going to cost you now.
Who you could go and acquire, it seems, is Evan Ingram. If that's your vibe, because what? I mean, I like Slayton, but I at least thought that Ingram could match that, or match Sterling Shepard, or match Caden Smith, or match Dion Lewis. Oh man, what's up with Ingram? Just bad matchup, you think? I mean, he had a lot of hate. Right? He had a lot of hating, and a lot of hating on him that night. But still 7 targets, so involved for sure.
Yeah, involved, and I think it's really boils down to to Zach's Hall of Famer Daniel Jones not
Right.
being able to connect
Right.
with him. So.
That's right.
That's literally the best tweet I've ever had. Like that's it. I shut it down. I really should delete my account.
You should delete.
Yeah.
I mean, after that, it was all downhill for you.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
Yeah,
I get
should have
the-
just started lurking from there.
I get the gif of Rich Eisen laughing at my tweet and just that I'm done. I'm done. Good.
I will say about the Giants though. I mean, I'm legitimately nervous about the play calling in New York and the overall setup of the offense. I just don't think they, it kind of reminds me of the Arizona Cardinals from 2 years ago that just were overmatched in every game they played from a coaching perspective and could not get an offense to run because of that, and ultimately ruining my boy Josh Rosen for life. But it just sort of reminds me of that, and I'm worried that that's going to continue and it's not going to get better when you combine the play calling with the terrible offensive line. You're going to get games from Slayton because he's a guy that can break loose and make some big gains. But you're going to see everyone else struggle, and that's scary with the weapons that we have from a fantasy perspective on that team.
New York's going to be interesting because everyone, I feel like, here I go, Gabe, stop me ahead of time.
All of them.
There are so many people who were saying, hey, you can't start Giants, you can't start Daniel Jones to start the year because the first 4 weeks, murderer's row. It's ugly every week, this, that, and the third. And all of a sudden, we're seeing, while Daniel Jones did make some boneheaded plays, like we did see Darius Slayton, and I think Golden Tate did not end up playing the game,
Didn't
right?
play, yeah.
So it's almost a case where if any of those guys, for whatever reason, don't play, those other two receivers, whoever is playing, it's almost like, hey, get them in your lineup somehow, some way. But Slayton's becoming a totally different, I guess, just a different player for that offense that it didn't have before, because he's beating people deep and he's doing stuff intermediate too. Like, I don't know. I guess I wasn't expecting it, and I definitely wasn't expecting it against Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh's defense is supposed to be able to stop Jesus, apparently. So I don't know what else is to come from them. But it's so funny. So Darius Slayton last week was wide receiver 5 in PPR. Can you all name the 4 wide receivers who were ahead of him? Again, Darius Slayton, 28.2 points in PPR scoring last week. Can you name the 4 receivers ahead of him?
Devontae Adams.
Yes.
Julio?
No, Julio was number
he didn't
8.
score.
I bet his
Incredible.
1B is though.
Calvin Ridley, number 2 on the
Calvin
week. So you got
Ridley,
1 and 2. Devontae Adams with 41 points. Calvin Ridley, 33.9.
I played against Devontae Adams in a bunch of leagues too, but
That's
it didn't help me.
He ruined a lot of openers for people,
He
man.
really did.
Hopkins got to be up there,
And
right?
Hopkins, number 4
Yeah.
on the week with 29 points on the week. And I had some questions as to, hey, is he still going to be garnering 14, 15 targets? Like, come on, Christian Kirk's there. Like, all these guys, they don't matter. Apparently, Hopkins giving that Thanos snap and nothing else matters. So there's that. You're missing one receiver. You all have 1, 2, and 4. And obviously Darius Slayton at 5. Who is wide receiver 3 on the week?
Better not be your boy Sammy. He didn't get that high, did he?
No, he didn't. This is not 2019. He was top 10. He was number 10.
I'm trying to
That's
think.
tough.
It's going to be someone ridiculous. I feel it.
I can honestly assure you that this is actually not ridiculous. So just to knock some names off for you, number 6 was Robbie Anderson and his kind of fluky long play.
Crowder's got to be somewhere back there, but he's not.
Is it?
He's not top 5.
How about the chat? Does the chat have it here? And I also
Chat
like
has
this.
it.
I like this autocorrect though. I want to put this up instead of
Adam Thicken. Adam, why you so thick in here?
It's definitely what his name is now.
Yeah, Adam Thicken.
FF autocorrects are my favorite things ever. I don't know if this was an autocorrect, but I have so many conversations with my brother about fantasy football over the past few years, and my phone's starting to learn names, pretty well. So it's kind of just has to adapt to rookies at this point. But man, There's just I don't even know what any of them are anymore, but they're just so good. Always so good. So Adam Thicken, nailed it. Love it.
Like
Thanks.
it.
Thanks,
Strong.
Chef.
Like that.
Also, don't look now, but the Green Bay Packers have 3 top 24 wide receivers. Just gonna
Oh
throw
my
that
goodness.
out there.
That's insane, man.
Ultimate week 1 overreaction. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what Devontae Adams did? MVS was wide receiver 1 on the week, 19.6 points, and then Alan Lazard, 18.2 points, wide receiver
So-
16.
Is it worth it to get 5 years of MVP Aaron Rodgers? If is it worth it to draft a quarterback in the first round to get MVP Aaron Rodgers for the next 5 years? Is that
Yes.
worth it? Is it now okay that they didn't draft a wide receiver? Did they do it just to motivate Aaron Rodgers? He's totally that kind of guy too that you would need to do that for. Seriously.
Worked on Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, it really
Facts on the
did.
facts. The facts
Yeah.
on the facts. Oh man, it's a fun landscape, and I'm already trying to track this stuff and staying on top of what it looks like week to week. I'm so and probably more so than usual. And Zach, I think that we've shared the same sentiments coming into the year, just in a matter of. I don't know how exactly I'm supposed to be excited about the NFL season with everything else going on in life, everything going on in America, how I'm just trying to hold it down for my house and establish whatever the new is, not even necessarily a new normal, just whatever the new is. And we got week 1 and I'm fully immersed and I'm happy to see it. And it's encouraging. And I don't know if it's the stepping out of the mess of the everyday, or the fact that what we hold so dear day in and day out for 3-4 months of the year is here. I don't know what it is, but I was way more jazzed to be able to see what was going on this week than normal. So I don't know how you guys felt about that, but that's where I'm at.
I'm with you, and I'm really glad too, because usually the in-season, at least for me as a dynasty guy, in-season kind of gets to be a little bit of a slog, which sounds kind of weird, but like I much prefer the off-season. I much prefer digging into the rookie. But this year, because everything was so sideways, that stretch from the Super Bowl until this past Thursday was the slog, and all of a sudden this feels somewhere near normal-ish, at least for, in terms of being able to get back and talk about fantasy football and like see tangible things happening. And so, yeah, I'm with you. This has been a really tough year to keep my mind on fantasy football. But I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we've got real football. I'm glad that Paris Campbell is emerging.
You know what? I've been waiting an hour for you to work Paris Campbell into this podcast.
You knew it was going to happen.
I mean, it feels kind of thrown in. I'm not going to lie. Not your best effort, but I knew it was coming.
He made that first catch, and I already had a GIF of the Eiffel Tower queued up to send to Peter Howard. I was just like, Peter, yeah, good, send. It was in my drafts. It was just click, go.
Paris Campbell, wide receiver 27 on the week, finished ahead of Chris Godwin. Just saying, it's Campbell season.
Did he finish it? He probably finished ahead of OBJ too, right?
He sure did.
There you go.
So there's one for you. Which is the first wide receiver to get moved, if any of them? The OBJ, the Allen Robinson. What are we looking at? Who's getting moved?
So, but Allen Robinson was the one that voiced his displeasure. I don't think OBJ said anything, right? That seemed
Not
to
yet.
be a
No, it was
report
Cleveland.
that the team was possibly shopping him. He's actually been pretty decent in Cleveland, I feel. So, but I don't know. It just seems to me like in today's NFL, if you're not happy, teams are just as happy to let you go than to try to negotiate with you. It's sad, but I get it's a business, but
You know I get the idea that it's sad. I will say the one thing about it that is, I don't like anyone throwing fits and getting out of contracts and that kind of thing. But I will say this: the NFL Players Association and the players themselves have taken it on the chin for a very long time. In the grand scheme of the negotiations, the teams definitely have far more leverage. So I don't blame them one bit in that sport for trying to get things right if they can. So I will say that while like I said, I don't like the people, the players that throw fits to get out of town. If they can use some leverage, the little leverage that they have, I'm not going to blame them for it.
You make me really sad when you talk about this, because there was a video going around on Twitter today where somebody was talking about it was the Allen Robinson 12.org video where they were like just talking about how he's been abused and hasn't had any good quarterback play, and I don't know, whoever put it together, masterful work, but with everything that shook out with him today. And it was one of those things where you finally look up, and similar to Kirk Cousins, it feels like just yesterday they signed these extensions to come to the NFC North, and all of a sudden time flies and 3 and 4 years have passed, and you're like, wait, where did time go for these guys and these deals to be up? So now we're looking at Allen Robinson ready to leave Chicago and really grow situation. And I'm excited for him to be just about anywhere except for Chicago. But I don't know that it happens in the season, Kev. Like from a leverage perspective, like Chicago's got none at this point, right? Everybody knows A-Rob wants out. He's not, if you trade for him, you're likely gonna. I don't even know if signing and trading in the NFL is the same as it would be like in the NBA, but like people, he's likely gonna want to be extended if you trade for him, and you're not gonna necessarily want to just drop a franchise tag on him just to be able to see it unless you've just got the cap room for days. So. I'm really interested to see how that shakes out with him in Chicago. Well, how do you guys see that shaking out?
Coming off a win too,
right?
Like is somewhat positive, of sorts. So,
with that too, with the Allen Robinson, like, what are you going to get back? The NFL, like we get this in our head because we play fantasy football, and you're like, wow, Allen Robinson in fantasy football is worth like. What, 2.5 first-round picks, but you're never going to get a first-round pick for Allen Robinson in a trade. And I mean, unless Bill O'Brien's shopping, you never know.
Well, I was going to say that the Bears are also horrible at trades. So I mean, once you see
true.
that Allen
match.
Robinson tweet of wanting to go and exactly, it's a match. Seeing that tweet of wanting out or whatever, like I am calling up and just offering, a third.
But like that to me is the real major, like regardless of the contract, regardless of anything going forward, like if you're the Bears, you're not gonna get enough for Allen Robinson, I don't believe, to justify trading him. I mean, especially if you've got the generational talent, the franchise quarterback Mitch Trubisky leading the show.
Generational talent.
We're just gonna let that one sink in for a minute.
Yeah, we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Those words have never been combined, so that's good. Nice job.
I got in Paris Campbell and generational Trubisky all in one show. It's been a good open bar.
It's good for you. I hear you guys. I hear what you're saying.
Do you guys think Bears fans ever get tired of hearing about how they could have had Mahomes and Watson ahead of Trubisky?
I knew you were asking before you could ask it.
That's got
to. Now they win week 1. They're like, ha.
Yeah. Poor DeAndre Swift,
somebody had snapped that picture of when Watson was running along the right sideline and ran out of bounds. and then he ran and sat right beside Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
And they had their little moment. Somebody freeze framed that and said, Mitch Trubisky. And I was just like, why y'all keep picking on that man? Like, dang.
Yeah, like I don't think everything is Mitch's fault. I don't think he's that great, but the play calling last year wasn't good either. The line was bad. So I don't know. I don't think everything's his fault there. But they spent a lot of money on Nick Foles. They could have had Cam Newton for what did the Patriots pay him? It was pretty damn cheap for what a guy like Cam Newton should be getting paid.
Guaranteed, set up to like 7, I think, in incentives at most.
Yeah.
So
It's just crazy. They could have had a lot of different guys, but who knows? Hey, never know. They could rip it off, win the division. If not, I'm wrong. If so, then you heard it here first, everybody. We'll go with that. How's that sound?
Mitch Trubisky, the next Patriots quarterback, after they don't re-sign Cam Newton.
They just cycle through.
You taking
That's not fair,
applications in Jacksonville? I'll come.
Stop.
Like,
No. We're gonna be too busy drafting Trevor Lawrence, man. Get on my face. Cut it out.
No, we're not, J. Mike. Trevor, take a walk. We're good with Shuval. Come on.
Look,
Give him a
that's fine.
chance.
Just don't bang Trubisky, please. Oh my gosh.
No, they would keep. They would
Trade
keep Minshew over
Trubisky. Trade
like that.
Trubisky and Allen Robinson to the Jaguars.
if only they could
Allen's
get
like,
good
okay,
players
you
like
can get a
Allen
trade,
Robinson.
but we're gonna trade Mitch. It's a package.
Did you see the stat on Robinson where in his career he's only seen like 66% of the balls that have been thrown to him have been catchable?
Jesus.
And out of the top 100 receivers in that time, like he's like 97th in catchable balls. Like that, like, and think about how good he has
Oh my
been.
gosh.
Like, yeah, like it's insane.
Just on Sunday, that the catch he had was incredible.
Yeah.
Jeez. Ugh.
Let me ask you guys in Dynasty. Let's this will be fun. In Dynasty, who would
Okay,
you rather have?
Let's start with that though. What's Dynasty, J. Mike?
Oh well.
All right.
Okay.
How long do we have?
A little bit of Black Mirror action going. Okay. What is Dynasty?
Yeah.
What really-
Yeah.
Corey Davis or Allen Robinson? Who would you know?
Allen Robinson all day.
J. Mike.
That's for my man Peter Howard. My man. He had people so upset last
That was so funny.
He was talking about Corey Davis season.
The
and
same
people were
tweet.
hot.
Yep.
Corey Davis was trending. He was part of the #1 trend in America. That was funny. I'm sorry. Anywho, to a more realistic question. Would you rather have Allen Robinson or Marquise Brown? Dynasty.
Robinson.
Robinson for me.
Yeah, it's Robinson.
Still pretty easy for me too.
I was going to ask, is it close for you? Bauer's thinking about it. I see you, Mike.
I'm going to go with Allen Robinson just as an overall wide receiver, but it is close. I do like what Brown brings to the table for sure. I mean, look at his last 2 opening day games, over 100 yards. I think last year was 2 touchdowns, right? This
Yep.
year was no touchdowns, but still over 100 yards. Very startable. So it is close, but I'm going Robinson.
Yeah, and it's no disrespect to Brown. I just don't think he's quite there to what Allen Robinson currently is and has been, you know. So
In 2 years, that could be completely different too.
yeah.
So
yeah,
things
yeah.
change a lot
Totally.
in that amount of time.
Yep. Week to week.
Mhm.
What was that? Sorry, J. Mike. I got to get this out. There was, what was it? Paris Campbell, or maybe I already forgot the
Yeah,
other
there was the
player.
one that
I think
Paris Campbell.
I think McDowell put it out, but it was
Justin Jefferson or
okay.
Paris Campbell because Peter
Wow.
Howard tagged me in it. I was like, those are my guys. And I was
Yeah.
like, I can't choose. It's like choosing between children.
It's Paris Campbell for you, Kev?
No. I was mocking Zach. I didn't realize you were going to go Jefferson, and then he wouldn't be able to choose. I was just saying it's always Paris Campbell.
Oh, yeah,
Always.
of course. Yeah. And then he wouldn't be able to choose. Yeah. Man.
No, I listen. Allen Robinson over Brown for me, and I think Paris Campbell probably just above the two of them.
Ever so slightly.
Just
so
a
slightly.
little bit. It's just a touch. I mean, what I saw this weekend, it's just verified all Zach's been telling me.
Very good. Very good. I've got one more for Allen Robinson. I'm curious of just by looking at what happened last week. Again, keeping this in Dynasty, Allen Robinson or Will Fuller. Will Fuller, who saw 19.2 points. Good for wide receiver, 14 on the week. People obviously are pretty excited about him as well in general. Hey, if he can stay healthy, if he can be the target hog that he showed to be in week 1, Will Fuller or Allen Robinson in Dynasty?
Robinson.
Still Robinson.
Yeah.
Easy.
Can I take Fuller for like the next 6 weeks and then
Nope.
flip him
Nope.
for Robinson plus?
Well, obviously, you can do whatever you want with him. You can just say, hey, I'll take him in Dynasty and I'll flip him. That's fine.
So I mean, I'm sort of joking, but like he has a great 6 weeks and Robinson has a shitty 6 weeks, and then you flip him for Robinson and a little, like, a third. You might not. That might not be far off in week 6.
I'm curious if these. Good point, Kev. By the way, that happens every single time. I mean, I hope Will Fuller plays 16 though. I really hope he does. He's good. I'm thinking though. I wonder if this question would be better suited for someone like Odell for that type of reaction. I wonder if we can go that far. Is there anything with that? I mean, we could start at Allen and Odell if we want, or maybe end there. But I'm curious with those same two receivers that you mentioned, J. Mike, Marquise Brown, and Will Fuller. Any y'all leaning either of those over OBJ?
I don't own OBJ on a single roster, and I don't think that I will ever have him on any roster just because I can't pay the price for him with the inconsistency that he has. I can't have that on my roster. He doesn't perform. I can't do it. So now, if I did have him on a roster, would I trade him for Marquise Brown or Will Fuller? Probably not. So
it's funny though, because it's really that sunk cost fallacy where like you've got Odell Beckham, you've already paid the price for Odell Beckham, you're expecting Odell Beckham to be that wide receiver 1, but he hasn't been that in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Like so we have this idea of Odell Beckham and what Odell Beckham's supposed to be. I mean, it's why I got in arguments the last 2 years about Odell and Jarvis Landry and me saying, no, Jarvis Landry's the one on the team, and everyone says, well, no, obviously it's Odell Beckham. I said, it's not. It's not Odell Beckham. He hasn't been that since high ankle sprain and got shipped out of New York. So it's that I love the psychological aspect of especially Dynasty, where you end up with these players, or you end up with somebody like Julio Jones, who people have this kind of diminished expectation because of the age, but he still produces. So his value has gone way down, but you're still rolling out, wide receiver 4 or 5 seasons. It's just an interesting, to me, piece of that game.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to get heavy at 20 past 11. Sorry.
Yeah, we just got so philosophical. We're not lurking anymore, my friends.
No lurking. No, the only reason I had stayed away from those names, Gabe, is because they're in the same like age group. And by the time they hit 27, people are like, "Oh no, gotta get out of that."
And maybe
that's pride.
Right. It's pride, right?
Well, and maybe I didn't realize that Odell was ahead of Allen Robinson looking at ADP. So maybe this might just be a moot point. Or maybe I don't know. Let's do the OBJ Allen Robinson?
I'd rather have Allen Robinson.
I just love Allen Robinson, man.
Which NFL team would you rather? I mean, which one would you rather see get traded? I guess. Which one are you on? If they go to a team that has that wide receiver need, right? Which one would you rather see traded?
Could you imagine? Wait. Can we just stop for a second? Could you imagine a world where Allen Robinson has a majority of his targets on target? Could you imagine? just stop and think for a
Could
second.
the same be said for Odell Beckham, though?
It can't
mean,
be as bad, is it?
It probably isn't as bad historically because say what you want about Manning. I mean, Manning was good enough to get him the ball. Since then, though,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know that it's been much better.
I mean, Jarvis has been a wide receiver 1 the last couple of years.
Talk about it.
I mean, whatever. seeing targets from the same quarterback.
Different
Talk about
targets. Different targets. You know that, Zach. I mean, honestly, that's a different throw.
I mean,
Right.
he was but he was in the Beckham role 2 years ago. I mean, like that's what Jarvis Landry did before Odell Beckham was there. That was the big thing about Landry going to the Browns is everyone's like, oh, he's not gonna succeed because he's gonna get more air yards. He's gonna go down the field, and it's gonna be tougher for him to separate. And he still did. Like that's just what Landry does. And again, it's not that Odell Beckham is bad. Odell Beckham is a fantastic player, but I also think that, and I talked a little bit about this last night with Russ with Dynasty Outhouse. I think Odell Beckham sometimes gets in his own head, and he's easy. You can see defenders get in his head, and as soon as that happens, it's done. And I don't think that he deals with adversity very well, and I also don't think Mayfield does. And you put those two guys together, and it's just a shit show.
Yep. It's incredible.
Well,
You
said.
liked it? You liked it? Yeah.
The last one here for you guys, just because it was asked here in the chat by the homie Oklahoma Doug. What's up with you, Dougie? Hope you're well. Indy, okay. In Dynasty, Diggs or Hollywood? Who would you rather have? Oh, everybody pausing.
That's
okay.
a-
What's up, Howard?
I'm going to take Hollywood here.
Okay. Do you feel strong about it? It's like strongly about it.
It's close,
Okay.
but man, I like Josh Allen, but you remember a couple years ago when everybody wanted Thielen and Diggs and nobody wanted Kirk Cousins? Now I
Yes.
kind of feel like everybody wants Josh Allen, but not the guys that he's throwing to because he spreads it around a bunch, but he does a lot of groundwork too. So kind of feel the same way. Now, obviously that could change. It's a long season. But it's Hollywood for me. It's really close. Like really, really close.
Okay.
And in 2 weeks I could have a completely different answer too. You guys know it changes quick.
Any other strong feelings here, guys?
Yeah, I think the safe pick, I guess, is Diggs. I don't know. I don't know. Like I legitimately don't trust Josh Allen, and I think that the ceiling's just kind of capped for Diggs. I think he already had his best quarterback, and we saw what we saw, and that's fine. And Lamar Jackson, dude. We might need to have a conversation about that. I don't understand how he can still just keep it at that level. But Marquise Brown could he has a ceiling that we don't know yet, I think. And there's no one there to threaten that except for possibly Mark Andrews, I guess. But obviously, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce can coexist. So it's certainly within the realm of possibility for Hollywood too.
Hollywood's concerns for me is mostly, I just get worried about durability with guys like that and staying on the field. So that makes me a little nervous. And and Diggs, given any other quarterback, basically, outside of maybe Trubisky, I think he's probably an easy pick for me. But so with Diggs having the quarterback that he has, and with Hollywood being the guy, that I have concerns about staying on the field, I think they both have warts. So I'd probably take, the guy that I think is going to do it this year, which would be Hollywood. I think Diggs might struggle a little bit given his quarterback, and so give me the production this year. Hope he stays healthy, and then he's another guy I might look to capitalize when he has a big season and move him to, for maybe some good draft picks or a running back. I tend to favor those. So
Warts.
That's good. All right. That's
Josh Allen size wart.
Oh,
That's
a big wart.
Porkman said, put some respect on Allen's name. He had a good completion percentage yesterday. He said you got to put some respect on Josh Allen's name, even though he did have that really ugly throw that was circulating where he just had the guy in the back of the end zone and just said,
he had a few bad throws still. It doesn't look like much has changed.
Yeah, he's scoring fantasy points though. Also, real quick, as we get ready to round this out, John Brown, wide receiver 15 last week, and Steph Diggs, wide receiver 22. Just saying, two top 24.
Two top 24s for Josh Allen.
I'm just saying. It happened once. Oh shoot. Anyway,
put it in your spreadsheet there, J Mike. We'll revisit it later.
Spreadsheet and DVOA it. How about that?
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, very good. Very good. This is fun. Anything else before we get ready to ride out?
I was gonna flip the script on us a little bit before I gave Zach the floor, however long ago that was. I don't know. Sure. I don't know. We don't have time. Do we have time? Should we just do a draft instead and get out of here? What do you think?
Let's draft and stash.
Draft and stash.
Draft and go.
I'm with it. Okay.
Draft and dash, I guess I should say.
Okay. Yeah.
Huh?
Oh man, I don't even have a draft. That's the problem. So
we drafted the open. Well, we did draft the open though, so there's that.
We did. There was something I was thinking about earlier. Let's go with sure. Well, Kevin said warts, so we can hit off of that, right? What?
I can't even imagine where this is going.
You have to blame Kevin for that.
You're such a disease.
I'm a disease. There's no question about that.
Okay, we are having the first inaugural sexually transmitted disease draft of the open bar. All right. And the thing is you probably want to flip it a little bit, right? That like the worst pick is probably the best pick kind of thing, right? So think about the worst disease that you can when drafting. But in typical open bar fashion, you have to compare this disease, this sexually transmitted disease, to a player that possibly had a week already that you want to reflect on, or that you see happening in this season for 2020. Do we understand the rules, my friends?
Go through that one more time here, because I'm just lost. We're comparing STDs to players. Is this what we're doing?
Yes,
that's definitely what he said. Yes, that is what he said.
You're just. I know you're just buying time and Googling STDs right now, Kevin. So don't worry, I'll let you go last, okay? Or at least third. Okay, so again, the rules are. I need a few things from you because we're closing the show as well. We need an STD. That stands for sexually transmitted disease. All right.
Thank you.
Should we remove warts as an option? Because I feel like Kevin's been kind of sitting on that for a while. Like he might just say Josh Allen, and that's not fair. I think we need to
be
remove.
Clear, I've been sitting on warts for a while.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
Good to know.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know what to say. Don't do that, Kevin.
You know how many doctors have told me the same thing.
You should thwart. You should thwart your opponents instead. You should not.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Listen,
What?
this is what can I have 101 this week? I usually don't request that. Can I go first?
Okay, fine. But but you don't get the outro part.
I don't get the outro. Never mind. I'll wait.
We can circle back. We did it for
No,
Kevin.
no. We gotta move. We'll wait. I'll wait.
J Mike's so afraid of my drafts every single week. He has no idea what I'm about to say.
All right, who's got 101,
All right.
Gabe?
So I need three things from you. I need a STD. I need a player to comp it to 2020 or week 1. And I also need an outro, which the floor is yours to share what information you want to share. And this is an open platform. If you actually want to talk about STDs, look, we're here for you. So if it gets there, feel free. But otherwise, just share about your podcast or whatever you do. So Zach, are you comfortable with doing the 101?
I got you. I got you if you need it.
I knew you could. Let's do it, my man. Let's do it.
All right, you ready? It's going to be chlamydia at the 101, and a lot of the carriers are not symptomatic. They don't present, and they affect other people adversely. And so, to me, it's Mitch Trubisky. It's that 300-yard passing game. There were no ill effects of the chlamydia, but he is spreading it to the team. The team is going down in flames. And you can find me at Tacit Assassin 13 and such tweets as Daniel Jones as the Hall of Famer.
Well done. Way to start us off with a bang.
That's strong.
If
That's
you
strong.
will. Okay. Bauer, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, you are the 102. STD, player, outro.
Okay, we're going to go with gonorrhea, and we're going to take Quintez Cephas because it might burn when he pees, and his name also kind of sounds like a venereal disease, if you will. We did have an episode called The Cure for Quintez Cephas, so took it from there. Look it up. It's a real thing. So just want to say thank you guys for having me on so much. I really appreciate it. Love the open bar. When I can stay up this late, I always watch you guys. It's hard, but I always do listen almost every week. Been listening to a lot of music lately. Find me over at the Dynasty Rewind. Don't follow me on Twitter. Nothing good there. Just follow the show at Dynasty Rewind. Follow all the guys on the show, though. They're fantastic. Even our intern, all great. Again, thank you guys so much for having me on. And make sure you get Quintez Cephas now because you won't be able to afford him later.
Can I just say you missed the chance to go Jason Garrett with the clap?
Well, you know what?
Those Porkman.
He
And that whole Giants offense. Oh, yeah.
He said it in the chat. I didn't want to steal it from him. So, but guys, thanks again so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Bauer. Be well, man. Sleep well.
I'm gonna stay here till it's over. I want to see you guys.
You gotta see these drafts.
I gotta see it.
You gotta see what Kevin's coming up with when it's not warts. All right.
I can't possibly top the first two, but I will. I'll go ahead and take herpes. And I'm gonna equate the herpes to
say that one more time.
I'm gonna go ahead and take herpes. Get herpes off the board here. Look, the old running backs to me are the herpes of the NFL. The Adrian Petersons, the Frank Gores of the world, who won't go away, are constantly reappearing and ruining your day. Adrian Peterson somehow leads the Detroit Lions with carries and yards this weekend when they have a brilliant rookie in DeAndre Swift waiting in the wings. So for me, yeah, those old running backs that come in and disturb everything are the herpes of the NFL. And thanks again, guys, for having me on as well. I'm at Kevin Cotillo on Twitter. You can check out at FF Funhouse and at Dynasty Wall Street. For the two shows that I regularly do, or occasionally do, I guess I should say. Should have some new episodes for those coming out sometime in the near future. And otherwise, I leave all the good content to guys like Zach and Mike and of course you gentlemen here on the open bar. So
much love, Kevin. An excellent pick. But don't pick at them. All right.
Right. No. Herpes and warts, man. I got a lot to pick at right now.
Yo, oh my gosh.
All right.
I'm gonna laugh when your wife kicks in the door talking about who is she? It's Gabe from the open bar. Well, hello, Gabe. From the open bar.
And we're live.
What are you wearing, Gabe? Headphones? Oh shoot.
All right.
I'm really upset. Because the
yeah,
104 was definitely going to be Adrian Peterson. But Kevin, as opposed to just saying Adrian Peterson, he takes all old running backs, so just eliminates an entire subset. And I'll tell you why it was going to be Adrian Peterson as I continue to try to look for someone else. It's actually going to be my player is going to be Rob Gronkowski, and the disease, if you will, is not just AIDS. It's not just HIV/AIDS. It's Magic Johnson's HIV/AIDS.
Oh,
And there's a distinction to make, obviously, because when you're someone who has lived as long as he has with HIV/AIDS, everything seems to look normal. Everything seems normal. Everything seems as though life is as it's always been. But really, deep down inside, nothing's ever the same. We look at Rob Gronkowski. He's back again on an NFL field with Tom Brady throwing him passes, and we're still expecting the Lucky Charms pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But nothing's ever the same. Nothing is ever as we thought it was. It might look the same. It might look normal. Magic Johnson might look like nothing is affecting his life, but deep down on the inside, we know. Listen, you made a deal with the devil somewhere along the way, and this has got to come to an end at some point soon. So Rob Gronkowski, similar to Adrian Peterson, was going to be my Magic Johnson's AIDS, because while it looks the same, while it looks normal, while it's functioning, and you think it's all okay, deep down, it's really not. It's really not okay anymore. You can find me on Twitter. That was just awful to say. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to scrub myself just extra nice tonight because I'm feeling really disgusting right now.
extra nice, huh, J Mike? Okay,
it's disgusting. Oh, and the Nuggets beat the Clippers.
I saw that.
Snap.
They beat the Clippers too.
Oh my gosh! What?
Lakers in 5.
I'm sorry. That happened in real time. I just saw the pop up. Man. Anywho, I'm on Twitter at JMikeCheck, at JMICCheck, also known as Blueberry Infused. Gabe, we will not be doing the team names this week for the show. We will not be changing our handles to go with our draft this week. No.
Why?
No.
That's not that bad. We could do the little
Just
virus thing. We can do the little virus
I'm
thing.
done. Well,
right.
Okay, maybe we'll see.
That's
I'm
not
definitely
bad.
not changing my name to AIDS. I'm just saying that.
FFA, strong.
On Twitter at JMikeCheck, at JMICCheck. The show's handles at the Open Bar Pod. And to everyone that's checking us out in the chat, whether it be Periscope, on YouTube, Porkman, Nate, Chev, the folks holding down for Dynasty Rewind, we see you. Kyle was in the building earlier from the Dynasty Dummies. Doug, Oklahoma Doug, what's up with you, man? Dwight popped in. A whole lot of folks showing us love this evening, so thank you all for coming out. If you're listening to this in podcast form, thanks a lot for the fun. Thank you for the love. Thank you for spending an hour and a half with us. You could be anywhere in the world doing anything, any number of things, especially in 2020. But you chose to be here with us. FF Chef, I see you. What's up, James? Good to see you too, man. And you spent that time with us, so thank you. We don't take that lightly. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you find your podcast, you can find us there too. On to my main man, the host with the most, Bungie, Genius, the MC, Mr. Gearing, if you nasty, at FF Warts on Twitter, at FF Lana Biscuit, at John Cena, if you nasty, on Twitter, at FF Man Bun. Gabe, take us home.
You could have at least gave me FF Thwart.
I wasn't gonna do that. That's I can't get that out of my head now. It's so gross.
I kind of want that one. I kind of want FF thwart because thwart is a horrible word. It's almost worse than wart, I think. But it's like a kind of a positive, potentially positive meaning to it. All right. So anyway, back to STDs on the open bar. What? Look.
Hashtag thwart the wart.
Thwart the wart. All right. I always struggle with show names, but I got it. Thanks, Kevin. All right. Thwart the wart. Holy. And I think that I know we said that warts was off the table, and this isn't a disease. It's a part of the disease, I guess, here in HPV. Okay, the human papilloma virus. All right. A lot of people have it. Unknown to many, and it's not the worst, of the STDs. And see this, J Mike, this is why I wanted to do this, because we're educating people a little bit here. I think people should be open about talking and talking about their STDs. It's okay. Things happen. And of course we should all practice safe sex, but come on, man. Look, don't take this as we're putting people down. Not at all. What's up?
Can I ask a question? Like, I don't want to interrupt your closeout here, but do you frequently find yourself in a circle of friends where you want to talk about your STDs together? Because I don't have that. I guess maybe I'm missing that in my life. Do I need to explore this?
I personally, I do not speak of the STDs, but I will say I am outside of the circle of a known circle that does discuss that. So it does exist, and it is it's in a way that I'm serious about this, in a way that people just are comfortable in talking about it. That it doesn't, like, because people are very probably embarrassed about things that they might have acquired in the past. So. If there's an open space, if there's an open space for that, it makes people feel more comfortable. But of course, in the beginning, just avoid it.
Sounds like a Ronald Jones subtweet. I don't know.
Maybe that was my player. HPV, the human papilloma virus. Yeah. So, look, it is one of the few that can actually be treated. And completely eradicated, and you can get the vaccine kind of to remove it and whatnot, remove anything else that's going on. So for that, who got rid of the HPV in their third season of the NFL? Everyone left him for dead. Davante Adams. Okay. He went and got things handled. He said, it's okay that I have this. I know it can get fixed. I know that I can get a vaccine to prevent further issues. And now where are we sitting? At the overall wide receiver 1, Michael Thomas is unfortunately out for a few weeks. I'm thinking that we might have a real chance at Davante Adams being the de facto wide receiver 1 of the entire NFL. HPV no more, Davante. Right on, my friend. So that is my pick. Potentially the 10. Well, it's certainly the 105 because it's not that bad, but it was strong. So guys, this was great. Thank you. If you signed up for the patreon.com/open bar and caught the early hours show, we had some heart to heart. We were late to start the show, but these three guys and J Mike coming in, we've all got each other, and I appreciate that. We all support each other in any way, shape, and form, even if you have an STD. Kevin, talk about it, man. We're here for you. All right. Thwart the wart. Yeah. Thwart the wart. I love it. Gosh, that's great, man. How is that not already a thing? That's got to be a thing.
No,
It is now.
No.
It is now.
Oh my
It is
God.
now.
We gotta
Don't
get
encourage him, Bauer.
all of our awareness.
So speaking of encouraging and encouragement, and we have a store at theopenbar.com or the openbar.storeenvy.com where you can find our Thwart the Wart t-shirts.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. You can find
I
other.
can only imagine what the image on
Oh,
the
Stop.
Ford t-shirt
Oh my
is.
God. Get me out of here.
I always replace the O with something. So have an imagination. All right. But you really can go to the store. J Mike, come on. It's fun. Talking about STDs. All right. So Shuval, baby. All right. There's the shirt. J Mike like literally came up with that, I think. So it was I trust me, I went Facebook, Twitter, Google, wherever. I couldn't find Shuval anywhere. Pretty sure J Mike came up with that one. Should have trademarked it, but it's on a shirt, so go get it if you want it. And don't be late to this party, okay? Because he's the man. He's the man. Everyone keeps tweeting out that's what they wanted Baker to be. Shut up. That's what we wanted Minshew to be. Okay, he is his own person. He is the man. All right, that's all I've got. I think we're back next week. I don't know if J Mike's gonna be back to confirm that.
Sure. Why not? I don't know. I have to check.
You have to, you have to J Mike check.
J mute check, actually.
J mute check. Yeah, if I keep this going with the STD drafts, you never know what's gonna happen. Come on, that was good. What if someone was here for an hour and 30 minutes and they're like, yeah, open bar was okay tonight, and then all of a sudden I say STD draft and they're like, okay.
I mean,
This
it
is the
wasn't
90 minutes.
it wasn't the camel toe draft, but it wasn't bad.
That was easily my favorite draft ever on this show. Look, and J Mike, you put a lot of blame on me, but people just say things on this show that I, extract, like a wart and put it in the palm of my hand and throw it out to the rest of the people so that we can talk about it openly on the open bar. All right. Sorry. J Mike's got a couple podcasts, Dummy Blitz. Shout out to Zach for making that intro and all the other great parodies that he makes week in, week out. That's a grind. I can tell you that personally. And the journal, J Mike's Journal, go and check that out. I do intros, but I'm just a bad, busy person lately. I'll get there someday. But anyway, cheers. Until then, my people here, there, and everywhere. This is rare where I actually have anything left that I can cheers with. So cheers to all of you. And until next week, J Mike.
Dicky.
Dicky.
No.
Dicky. Oh, more on the STDs. Okay. ST